Hi everyone, it's Miss Champagne. Okay, so today I will be teaching from my workbook called How to Transition from Your Current Job to Your Teaching Job. This is the corresponding workbook to the book that is simply titled Transition from Your Current Job to Your Teaching Job. Okay, let us continue with Chapter 2. And Chapter 2 is called How Will You Live During the Transition Period? Now, this is a very important factor that people need to consider when they're considering becoming a teacher. Some people, when I was writing this book, this person was actually living in Rwanda. They were working at a hotel that I think I stayed at and I did a demo lesson at. Now, this person wanted to become a teacher because I had taught her and she was very inspired, but I, had some questions for her. I wanted her to really consider what it is she was asking me to write, and therefore I wanted to challenge her in return. Now, a lot of people need to realize that you have your job and then you have the new job, and then there's the in-between part. So how are you going to live between the in-between part? Do you have money that's available for you to live off? Will you get an advanced salary? Will your apartment be paid for? These are questions you need to ask. So looking at chapter 2, if you do have a current job, that is great. Some people may wait a year before they actually transition and become a teacher. Some people may not. But whatever you're going to do, if you know you're going to do it, and if you know it more in advance, that's better because you can save your money. Now, if you don't have a job and you're waiting to receive your new job, what are you going to do for money? These are questions you really need to ask yourself. Some WH questions I have in the workbook is that how much are your current living costs, and do you have enough to maintain that until you are able to get your new job? And also, do you need money to relocate to your new teaching position? So for example, before I became a teacher in Japan, I was living in London. And I had to really consider, okay, so I live in London and I want to go to Japan, but who's going to pay my plane ticket? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? So what I had to do, I had to save my money because I knew I was going maybe 6 months ahead of time. So I had to save my money, I had to budget, and I really had to cut down on my current living costs because I wanted to relocate overseas. Now, because I got a job with my company, they did not pay for my plane ticket, but I just got like a one-way ticket, which was $600. But they were able to help me get my apartment. I didn't have money for a down payment, and the apartment that I chose was in Shizuoka, and it was from Mini, which is pretty good. I think they're a pretty good company for renting to foreigners, but they didn't require me to have key money. And key money is when you give your landlord thousands, I don't know if it's thousands, but you give them like maybe 2 or 3 months rent, the equivalent of 2 or 3 months rent, just for allowing you to live in their place, which is unheard of. I never heard about that until I came to Japan. But anyways, I did not have to give any key money, but I did have to put down a deposit. And my company, they put the deposit down and then they just deducted it from my paycheck, which was great. But if you do not have that option, you really need to consider where you're going to live. You don't want to be in a position where you arrive to a new country and your living situation is not suited. You don't want to do that. If that's the case, you do not want to take that job. Okay. So, and also once you do relocate, so we just spoke about that, you need to know how much your living costs will increase if you're a teacher. If you're a teacher, and you were, let's say if you're working in a hotel before, maybe your clothing is different. You might need to buy some new clothes. You might need to buy some new teaching materials. So things will be different. And these are things I think you should consider and ask yourself, okay? All right, so today we talked about chapter 2, which is entitled, How Will You Live During the Transition Period? All right, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.